Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Calhoun's. You watching the NCAA tournament today? What about the week ahead? Next weekend? Well, if you're having folks over, call ahead and grab a Feed 5 party pack to take home. All the barbecue, buns, slaw, beans, even beer. They offer everything you could need. Cheap and easy. Let them do the cooking. Make the cleaning easier on yourself. Calhoun's for your basketball viewing pleasure. The Feed 5 pack. All right. Want to dive into three more topics. We have the wheel here. You don't know which question you're going to get, but whichever one it lands on, well, and of course it hits right in the middle. So I pull this one off. We got 2 minutes. Everybody can talk on this one here. So 2 minutes. More important this spring: find and develop depth at running back or at linebacker.
Linebacker, linebacker. I mean, I think you can get by with average in the SEC and average running back. I don't think you can get by with average linebacker play. I think you saw that somewhat last year with Tennessee's defense when they kind of struggled a little bit. I'm going to say linebacker.
You were too deep last year, and then you got one of them hurt. So, I would agree with you. I think linebacker. Guys.
Well, it looks better, I think, at middle linebacker. I think what you got to find who's going to be playing outside. And running back, you've got, some kids coming in and you can work with that. But, linebacker, that was the one when Darren Kirkland, gets hurt last year on top of the Jalen Reeves-Maben. Who are you running out there? So you got to have some depth at linebacker. You had the number 11 ranked defense, a lot because of your injuries and especially to your linebackers. You have got to get that.
11th in the SEC.
Yeah, 11th in the SEC.
Well, and that's especially true because they're talking about adding a third linebacker, getting away from that 4-2-5 and actually playing a third linebacker. So who's that guy going to be? And it wasn't just the first string guys; it was second string guys too.
Yeah.
McDowell and Sapp also missed.
You were down to number 6 at one point last year. You were down to linebackers 5 and 6. That's a very good point. So many teams now just play a 4-2-5 90% of the time anyway, due to the offenses that teams are running. But if Shoop is serious about going to a 4-3, now all of a sudden you're needing you need 6 guys instead of 4 guys in your top 2. Yeah, that's math for you.
I would also think that if they're looking for running back depth, the spring will show them that they're going to find that in the summer when Ty Chandler and the rest of the freshmen arrive.
There you go. Okay, let's go to the next question here. You get through that a little off on time, but we'll be okay. What one player can the Vols least afford to lose from the current roster?
I think the conversation maybe gets repetitive, but I would say Darren Kirkland.
I would
I'm going to go back to linebacker right now. I would say him.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw Juwan Jennings out there. I think he's the only proven skill position player you've got on offense. I think last year you did get some guys that got some experience behind Kirkland, albeit it'd be a big loss. But if you lose Juwan Jennings, your leading returning receiver becomes Tyler Bird with 15 catches last year.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would go with Darren Kirkland Jr. And even when he came back last year from the high ankle sprain, he wasn't quite 100%, wasn't really close to it. But then, the bowl game, he was better. I mean, he calls some plays back there. He tries to get you in the right, what you're trying to do. So he is very, very important. Plus, Shoop loves him. Okay. Bob Shoop loves him.
I'm going to go, even though I believe linebacker depth is more important than running back depth, you've got 2 new quarterbacks. Butch Jones runs a run-first offense. You've got one proven running back on your team, and that's John Kelly. To me, I'm going with John Kelly, simply because if something happens to him, and you got quarterbacks you don't know if they can go out there and what they can do yet, and you are as run-happy as they are, I just think that'd be a bad thing if John Kelly went down. So that is my answer. Let's do the last one in this segment. We're back on time. See, I told you we'd get there. All right, last one. What do we got? Oh, I like this one. Are you more worried about pass coverage or pass rush? Both. It's still your pass defense, but which end are you worried about? The secondary or the front 4 getting to the quarterback?
I'm going to go with pass coverage. I think there's ways that you can scheme around not having a good pass rush. You can blitz, you can do things, you can run some stunts, you can try to make it better. If your guys can't cover, they just can't cover. And so then you go back, well, let's play them 10 yards off line of scrimmage, and they're throwing hitches in front of you. You bring them up, they get burned. I think it's pass coverage.
I'm going to say pass rush because I already have so many big concerns about the pass coverage that I think it's up to the guys up front to create as much pressure. It's on Kyle Phillips and Jonathan Kongbo. What can he finally do this year? Those guys to make the difference.
Kongbo, who is moving to defensive end, which was his want when he got here. He's dropped 20 pounds. Looks like he's going to be – they're counting on him to be the pass rusher.
Yeah, and he originally had practiced there most of last year before the injuries.
Yeah,
but
didn't want to go to defensive
Right.
tackle.
I'm going to say pass coverage because the scheme that Shoop likes to play is a lot of press coverage, and that means you got to have guys that can play this, tight press man scheme. And also because there is some question about the interior defensive line, that makes me worry about the coverage because you may have to stay in coverage a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's kind of like pick your poison, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I look, you're trying to replace the school's all-time sack leader. Who's going to pick that up? You've got all the injury concerns at defensive tackle.
So you're pass rush.
I'm going to go pass rush because I think you've got the athletes in the secondary.
I'm going to go. You may have the athletes. I'm going to go pass coverage. This is 51-49. I don't think there's a wrong answer here, but I'm going to go secondary because it's not like you could promote last year's number 2 to be your number 1 this year. I don't know that you ever had a true number 2 last year that you could depend on. When Cam Sutton was in there, and he wasn't the same when he came back from the injury, but when he was in there, I don't know that you saw what you wanted to see. Clearly, the fact that they were rotating guys all year kind of underlines that. But if you didn't have a number 2 last year, that means we're wondering about your number 1 and your number 2 this year. So to me, it's secondary is the bigger concern. All right, we will continue to ask a lot more UT football questions. We've even got buzzers. We'll break out the buzzers later and turn it more into a game show, and usually that's when things fall apart. But next, I mentioned the controversy coming back to Tennessee. Conzo Martin comes to the SEC. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for Rick Barnes and the Vols? Come on back.